Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 29 of my favorite 30 albums of the 1960s. This is the countdown we're doing each and every day here in the month of September 2023. 30 days in the month. I have picked out alongside all of you my 30 favorite albums released in the 1960s, any musical genre whatsoever. We're counting them down each and every day as we work our way to number one. Today we're going to take a look at the third album released from this British band. It came out June 21st, 1969 in the US, September 1969 in the UK, recorded at Delane Lea Studios in Kingsway, London, England, produced by Derek Lawrence for Tetragrammaton in the US and Harvest in the UK. I'm talking about the self-titled release from Deep Purple. Deep Purple, their third album. This is the last one of the 60s before the big lineup change and before the big changes musically that were to come just ahead within rock, right? So, of course, the lineup here is Rod Evans on lead vocals, his last album with the band. Nick Simper on bass and backing vocals, his last album with the band. Richie Blackmore on guitars, John Lord, Hammond organ and other keyboards, and Ian Pace on drums and percussion. So, as with the other two albums from Deep Purple that came before this, a mix of original songs and covers. They did a lot of covers. Very different from what we would hear on In Rock and going forward. This is much more kind of like psychedelic music. There are hints at progressive rock. This album actually is more hard rock than the other two, although not quite what we would get on In Rock. And bits of pop in here as well. So we've got, one of the many standout tracks on this album, an original song too, Chasing Shadows. Good hard rocker there. You've got Blind, which is a much more atmospheric kind of psychedelic rock track written by John Lord. Another good song. Then you got a cover of the old Donovan classic Lelena, very lush, very kind of orchestral. You got the brief little instrumental Fault Line. And then, of course, the great hard rock track, The Painter, written by Rod Evans and Richie Blackmore, along with the rest of the guys in the band. Probably one of my favorite tracks on here, The Painter. Really good song, kind of hints at where they were going to go fairly shortly after. And then over on side two, you get Why Didn't Rosemary, right, which is kind of more of like a boogie track. Then you got the excellent hard rocker Bird Has Flown. Could be, along with The Painter and Chasing Shadows, one of the three best songs on the album, in my opinion. Excellent rocker. That's Bird Has Flown is like one of those songs that I always wish the band would have kind of continued to play live throughout the years, because I think it perfectly fits in with a lot of their later material. And then you've got the kind of psychedelic meets classical big epic April, which finishes out the album. And again, written and arranged by John Lord and Richie Blackmore. Excellent stuff there. Really good album. Really good album. I generally, when I rate the Purple catalog, the first three albums, generally fairly low. I think for me, this is easily the best of the first three. I think, honestly, if you were to take, for me anyway, if I were to take all of the best, my favorite songs from the first three albums and put them together on one album, that makes up one really good album. As it is, I find the first three albums kind of spotty. This is the easily the strongest of the three. But again, if you take my favorite 2, 3, 4 songs from each album, put them all on one collection, that's a pretty good album right there. So let's take a look, see if we've got any. I don't think there's any charting, anything for this album. The problem is a lot of the stuff in the 60s, they weren't tracking some of these things like they did starting in the 70s and 80s. So I don't have any charting or certification. Well, let's see. This album peaked at number 38 in the United States and number 21 in Canada. Let's see. Nothing in the UK. And really nothing else in the rest of the world. So not a hell of a lot of activity on this album. Purple were not really doing big numbers, and it doesn't look like any of these things were released as singles. So, oh well, not a lot of other information to give. So anyway, but that's my take on Deep Purple. Self-titled comes in number 29. Let us know what you think of this album in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, pick number 29. And we'll see you tomorrow for number 28. Stay tuned in just a little bit for Actually, no, not a little bit. Tomorrow, actually, yeah, getting my days confused here. Tomorrow is ranking the albums, so tune in tomorrow for pick number 28, as well as ranking the albums, and we'll see you on Tuesday for the Q&A episode of In the Proxy. Till then, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, do want to, we lost Jimmy Buffett last night, so do want to make mention of that. Of course, beloved by many. Man, that guy turned into quite the entrepreneur. So he leaves us, forget exactly how old he was, 70-something years old. So kind of a surprise to wake up to this morning. So Jimmy Buffett, rest in peace. Also, I do want to give a shout out to Stephen David, one of our loyal viewers who has had a little bit of a health scare of late, and he sent me an email just to let me know, and that he's been busy he's been convalescing and getting better and recuperating and resting up. He's been watching all the SOT stuff he's missed. So Stephen, best wishes to you. We hope that you have a real speedy recovery. Thanks for letting us know, and we're glad you're okay. So take care, my friend. Rest up and get back to 100%, right? So we'll see you soon here on the channel. I am Pete Pardo. Take care, everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.